All right. Are we all up to speed? Do we know what we're doing?
The Aussie Gamers Express podcast.
Ooh. Careful, everyone. We've got a genius on board. We've got a lady on the podcast tonight, so I'm wearing pants. That's an occasion. What happened?
Hi.
I pushed the wrong button.
Oh.
I was going down the lobbies. Then I clicked on the general one and just
you went too far down.
Yeah. So I was just talking to myself, and it come up and it went, "It appears you have gone AFK on us." I'm like, "What?"
Oh well. Are we good? How about we start the show? How about that?
Press start.
This is episode 192, and today is Thursday, the 26th of October 2017. Welcome to the Aussie Gamers Express video game podcast. I am your host, Lucas, and here with me is my co-host and very good friends, Snoogs. How are ya?
Good evening, good sir. How's it doing?
Hey, good evening to you too. I am fine, thank you very much. But also joining us this week is fellow Age admin and superstar writer, Remutha. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Welcome to the show. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Thanks for being back.
Not a problem at all. But anyway, before we start, here is this week's show in preview. First up, we'll do video game discussion. Then we'll do video game news. And in this week's news, we've got Kinect is dead.
Dun, 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 dun.
We've also got some original Xbox games on Xbox One and the Xbox Stay and Play. So that's some good stuff there. After the news, we'll do user-created content, and then we'll do What's That Sound, and then some last words, and that'll be the end of the show. So, first on the agenda with video game discussion. Ram, you're in the hot seat because you're the additional person to the podcast, the special guest,
very
if you will.
special guest.
That's right. So you're in the hot seat. What have you been?
Yes,
what have you been
it's
playing?
Yellow Stack Hat special.
Hey!
Been playing anything?
What have I been up to? I've had pretty limited playtime lately because things are hectic, but when I have been able to get on, mostly Destiny 2, if I'm honest.
Don't lie. That's rude.
Yeah, well, it's more interesting sometimes, but
Still hanging in there in Destiny 2.
yeah, I enjoy it, and because I guess my playtime with it's quite limited at the moment, I still have a fair bit of content to go through, so I'm not bored of it yet.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so Warlock's getting up there, started my Hunter, but haven't moved on to the Titan yet.
Are they all max? Or most of them maxed?
No, just the Warlock is 270, so still pretty low. So I've got a long way to go.
I'm beating you there.
Oh, absolutely.
Shocking.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
terrible.
but you've got 305 on one character, yeah? Is that
Me?
what you're saying? Oh, no.
No. I've got a long way to go.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So you're,
Once you get above the 270, everything slows down.
Well, that's the problem. I've just hit that grind point, so now it's just so slow with everything. So it's taking ages to level up now.
right. Don't get me wrong. I'm not rolling my eyes and turning up my nose to your 270 character because I'm no better than that. But I don't know. Well, I made an ass out of me and you. I assumed that considering you're still playing it that you'd have been there. But I suppose still playing it considering all things in life getting involved as well as gaming time.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's just like limited playtime over the last few weeks. It's been like lucky if I can get on one day a week. At the moment, it's that bad. So but I'll get back into it soon, hopefully with a bit more playtime and get that character up more. Other than that, I've been looking at Life is Strange. Obviously, I did the episode 1 review the other week.
Yeah, up on the website. Check it out if you want to see that one.
Yep, I'm looking at episode 2 soon, so I'm looking forward to that. It's a really good game.
I haven't played the first season yet.
No?
I played
good.
the first episode of the first season I played, but it sort of got a little bit annoying because I was playing as like a whinging millennial. It was just
A 17-year-old girl.
yeah.
Yeah, this is no different in that regard. So you do have to kind of be able to deal with that. But like I like it. It deals with some hard hitting issues in both storylines. It's quite dialogue heavy and it is slow and it does take a fair bit of investment to get through. But if you do, I think it's well worth the play.
Well,
It's a good game.
I've heard that. Most people have said that sort of same thing when it comes to the first season as well. Like, it's a bit of a slog. It's a slow pace, but when it gets there, it's actually quite rewarding. I don't know.
Yeah.
That first part I just haven't gone it, because I think I have it. Wasn't it? I think it was like free at one stage, wasn't it? On something?
Or heavily discounted, yeah, something like that.
I don't know. I think I've got access to the first season. I think it was a PlayStation Plus title.
Yeah, I think it's on PS Plus.
Yeah, I think so. So I've got it there. I haven't gone and played it yet. Anyway.
Yeah, it's worth the time if you've got it. I think Before the Storm is an easier play, but it does require some knowledge of the first game to really get all the context. It's not impossible, but you will find it easier.
It's like a time bending sort of game or something, is it? Rewinding.
In the first one it is. In the first one it is. Max has the ability to augment time and sort of go back and remake decisions, and no decision's really the better one, but she's got to, pick the lesser of two evils. In the second one, they've completely taken that away. And what you have now is like every decision you make is in the moment, it's timed, and for the critical decisions. And it's based upon her ability to sway the conversation. She's a bit of a loose-lipped and sharp-tongued sort of person, so it's all about what she can get away with.
Just sounds like a regular Telltale game.
Yeah, they're all sort of very samey in that way.
Are you saying that they took away the one part of the game that sort of made it different to all the rest?
They've, in a way, yeah, I'd have to agree. Yeah, that is probably the most standout feature of the first game, and they have taken that back. But at the same time, I don't feel like the game suffers for it. Okay. I feel like it makes you more invested in that moment, in what decision, because you can't take it back. You can't redo it. So you have to make that right decision then and there. And if it all goes haywire, well, then you've got to figure another way around the scenario.
It'll be interesting to see because like Telltale games are notoriously known for giving you these decisions to make with that are timed and all that sort of stuff, but it all sort of funnels you down the same path. There's no real different ending. It'd be interesting to see. I know it's only episode 1 of season 2 that you've done so far, but it'll be interesting to see if it actually does make any actual differences towards the end.
Yeah, long term it'll be interesting because it's not obvious upfront about what that decision's going to cost you. It obviously comes up with that, this has a consequence attached to it sort of dialogue. But yeah, it's not obvious upfront how that's going to play out in the long term. Some things you will see play out short term, but there are definitely some that you probably won't see play out until right at the end of the game. And it'll be interesting to see how the decision tree actually spreads by that point, and whether it does funnel or not.
Interesting. Oh, well, good to see what you think about that one when you play it. Have you played anything else? Anything else on your agenda?
The only other thing I sort of had a quick look at with Gragio was Crossout, which is currently free on Xbox.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you guys have had a look at that, but it's kind of a cool little game.
I took Crossout for a spin back when it was in beta on the PC. So I have played it, but not on console yet.
Right. Well, it's still in a beta stage. Okay. It's open beta at the moment. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool little game. It's a Mad Max style MMO car warfare style game where you can customize your car, put parts on and off. You can put guns on and off. You can, as you level up, you get more parts, but you can configure and level up your car. You get different kinds of co-op and PvP missions. You can either do like objective based where you have to defend a truck from point A to point B, or you've got control style where you've got bases you've got to defend or capture, or loot that you've got to pick up to win, that sort of stuff. So it's interesting. There's a fair bit of flesh to it for such a basic style game.
How's the input lag go with it these days? I remember that was my biggest concern with it when I played it on the PC. When I played online, there was severe input lag. Like you would turn left, and there's like a good half a second before you turned left.
There is still a little bit of lag, but I think they've improved on that by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it was horrible, bad back then. So if you're only saying, oh, not so bad, that's probably a good thing. They're working on it.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, does that sort of cover your week?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much my gaming at the moment.
Fair enough. There's plenty to come. You're going to be busy in the next few weeks, I guess. Snoogs, what about yourself, man? You've had your hands on some pretty titles.
Yeah, I've had a couple of pretty ones to play around with this week.
Yeah.
First things first, a little bit more Siege.
I played it with you too.
Yeah, we had a bit of a play with that the other night. And last night, I may have become the troll.
What'd you do?
Well, I was setting up, right? So when you first go in, so it was a casual game.
What are you playing? Terrorist Hunt or?
No, PvP.
PvP, yeah.
So yeah, casual. Yeah, so I was just one stacking, so I was only it was just me there by myself. And luckily, this happened after I turned off my stream, so that was probably a good thing. Earlier in the night, a person had come into the chat party, into the round. So two of us were setting up by blocking off one of the walls.
Yep.
And this guy's yelled something out, "Hey everybody," and something else as well, and then threw some C4 at us and blew us up. Which, you get from time to time in the match. So that happened, and that happened during my stream, and I'm just like, oh, fucking, why bother doing that? He got booted straight away. Anyway, after I turned off the stream, I thought I'd have one more round. And
did you go and join his game?
No. He just popped up in the same team as me.
Yep.
And I don't know whether he was playing with other people or whatnot, but he didn't play for very long.
What did you do? Did you just?
I just kept dropping him. Anytime I got near him, I dropped him.
On casual, you don't get booted for just for team killing. You have to be voted. Is that right?
You get team killed after I think 2. But
you mean booted? Booted after 2 kills?
Sorry, yeah. After 2 team kills. Yep. Or if it's like 2 at once, if you throw a grenade at someone's feet or something like that.
Yeah.
So the first round was I had the headset on and talking through, and the first round was a shotgun into the back of the head. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Okay. Next one was an assault rifle to the leg, and someone else finished him off. Oops, sorry.
You were the only one pissed off at him.
And then the last one, I just didn't care because it was the last round, so I let him think he was doing really good, and then I threw a grenade at his feet and left the game. So
revenge is sweet.
Just a little bit of revenge.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. I don't remember what the name was, but I hope it was the same person because
Asshat6969.
Yeah, either that or I'm just an asshat to someone else. But
if it was a random who just maybe similar name or
yeah, I hope so. But yeah, so that whoops. So that's probably the standard stuff. The other 2 nice shiny new ones that I've had my hands on this week.
Yeah,
I'll start off with South Park: The Fractured Butthole.
I see what they did there.
Yeah.
That's quality humour.
Yeah. So I'm currently working on a video review for that. I'm having a lot of fun with it. There's not really a lot to go through, so it's only going to be a very quick one. But I'm having fun with the video, so hopefully everyone gets a bit of a chuckle out of it when they watch it. So yeah, it's very similar to the first one. Instead of trying to keep the stick of truth out of Cooper Keep, you're building your online following as one of the Coon and Friends superheroes. You're still, unlocking areas around town. You're still fighting off weird and wonderful things. So far, I'm yet to be shrunken down and run across dodging my dad's testicles, which is probably a good thing.
Hooray.
You hang on, what?
In the first one,
Right.
you get shrunk down by the underpants gnomes.
Of course you
And-
do.
Yeah, and you run across the bed as Mum and Dad are do what Daddy did to Mummy to get me. And
Okay.
you've got to dodge the testicles. So, scary, hairy beanbags. So far, I'm yet to see anything like that. I'm actually yet to really be shocked with anything in this one.
That's because you're a
Yeah.
sick fuck.
Well, there is that too. Like, there's the bit that they had at the expo that we spoke about last week with the kids doing lap dances in a strip joint.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I already
Fuck.
knew about that. So it still is wrong, but I knew it was coming. Other than that, I'm yet to come across one. Probably because I am a sick bastard, and I'm usually got a scotch when I'm playing it, or two. Yes, it's a lot of fun. There's not really a whole lot to go into. The game's very story driven. It's very South Park driven, and it's very basic, but it's not simple. If that makes sense.
Not
So
really, but
it's-
keep going.
Well, no, it's a basic game. In other words, it's like playing a South Park episode. So obviously, South Park's not the pinnacle. It's not Gundam Wing or something in the ways of Anaheim. You sort of bounce across the screen. It all looks beautiful. All the colours work. There's no screen rate issues, which you wouldn't expect there to be on that style of game anyway. The combat is really cool, and as you start to level up and get more followers, and you also actually get colleagues that'll jump in a fight with you, so you've actually controlling more than one person. And yeah, it's just a lot of switch off your brain and have fun.
And turn-based
So-
combat.
And turn-based combat.
That's
But the
probably
turn-based combat
Yeah.
kind of works once you get the hang of it. Like, I'm not a big fan of it, but yeah, it's kind of it becomes a point. The point that I'm at with it now is because I'm getting people that will jump in with me. I get to try out what their powers will do,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
I love the
that's-
fast travel. The fast travel you get to, so you've got different points around the map where you can travel between them.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to wander around the map like last time.
Yes. So
Yay!
the fast travel, you go and pick up this one point, and then Jimmy comes flying in on his crutches, and you jump on his back, and off you go to the next one.
Yeah, because the cripple guy is the fastest way to move around.
Yeah, the cripple guy's
yeah.
got the flash type of ability, so he's just
course he
zooming around
does.
everywhere. It's actually
Wait,
quite brilliant.
Are you impressed I know who Jimmy is?
That's very good.
He's
We
the
got
guy
Jimmy
with
and
the,
Timmy.
The calipers, yeah?
Yes,
Yeah.
Timmy
He's
is
the wheelchair guy.
He's the guy in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
And the sort of stuff that he does is hysterical. He's like a Professor X type thing.
Yeah. And
So
I even know who Garbles is.
Oh, God.
Remember,
It's,
remember the retarded turkey? Or chicken,
Yep.
or whatever it was?
whatever it was.
He survived getting his head chopped off because his head was crooked to the side and the blade couldn't cut his head off in the thing. So he survived and he was Garbles. I've seen some episode when I was a teenager.
Well, with good old Timmy, it's always a laugh a minute because he speaks in when he's doing the sort of speaking with his mind, he sounds like Patrick Stewart. You know, he comes across in that very delicate and very precise way. So he sounds like Professor Xavier. And then he stops speaking with his mind and goes, "Day," and you feel bad for laughing, but you do every single time he does it. And yeah, just a lot of fun.
Cool.
So I have a couple of questions on it.
Shoot.
One, how much more did you get to play than we played at the expo? And two, did you get more of a tutorial on the combat system?
Yes, you do get more of a tutorial on it.
Okay.
From what I remember, there wasn't much, but there was enough.
Okay.
So where it starts off, it actually starts as you're still playing the Stick of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much Cartman's just had enough of it, so he's decided to disappear, dress up as the Coon, and then tell everyone he's not playing that anymore, and they've all got to start playing Coon and Friends.
Right.
And the reason why I'll to people to figure out it's just very South Park. How much more I've played? I think I'm up 12 to 15 hours now.
Okay.
From what I hear, it's about 24 to 30 long.
Nice.
So yeah, and it's pretty much the exact same map as the first one. You start off the same way. You start off on where Cartman lives and everyone else, and you go and find different people to be part of your group, and you've also got to go and speak to people, help them so that they become a follower. You get to take a Coonstagram selfie with them, and that increases your followers. And yeah, that's pretty much how you sort of level up.
Okay.
With it.
So it's a bit extra to do on the map to keep you going.
Yeah. So you're still and the map, even though it's the same, it's kind of evolved in the same way that the TV show has.
Mm-hmm.
So where Kenny's house is, it's now that it's like an upmarket food store that went out of business because everyone was all excited when it first came in, and then they realised that it was bullshit. So that's all run down and still there. The crazy old doctor that makes the 5-ass monkey, his building's still there. There's a few new things, the school, and much to my joy, Shitty Wok was still there.
Yay!
So I haven't actually got in yet, but I have found Shitty Wok.
Oh, it's got to be there.
Yes. And there's a few other little bits off to the sides.
Was it Tom's rhinoplasty? Is that still in there?
Yes, that's still there.
Oh, wow. My memories are flooding back in.
Yeah.
You'll have to come around and have a go.
Yeah,
No.
Just as a bit of news to accompany Fractured Butthole, there's a playable demo available on PlayStation and Xbox at the moment.
Yeah, and I think it's actually the first hour
PC
of the
as
game.
well.
So
Yeah,
you'll have a bit of fun in that first hour. Won't get a lot done because it does start out a little bit slow, but you'll still have a bit of fun with it.
Me or people in general?
People in general. I've given up on you in South Park.
Yeah, I probably won't play it. Because the news, I put the news up on the website today, and I was like, oh, I should download. Nah, I don't want to play that. I've got this idea. It's a new game. It's fancy. It's there's lots of fart jokes and stuff like that. Nah,
Yeah.
I'll be right.
It's one of those things. As good as it is, and as much as I can talk it up for it actually being a solid turn-based combat system and a solid game in itself, you will not get it unless you're a South Park fan. Anyone can play it, anyone will be able to play it, and anyone will get through it. But I really do think you need to be a South Park fan to really enjoy it.
Well, I used to be. It's just one of those things from my childhood that just didn't come with me. I still love The Simpsons. I still love Futurama. I still love all that sort of stuff. Ninja Turtles and Pokemon. Just the South Park refused to come with me. I don't know. I didn't want to. It stays there. Watching it on grained out, shitty reception SBS when I was living at Mum and Dad's house, and that's where it stayed. I don't know. It's a weird phenomenon, but that's just how it is.
Well, it come with me. And unfortunately, as I've gotten older, it's gotten sicker. And I have matured, and I know deep down that I shouldn't be laughing at these things, but I still am.
Lovely. Well, is there anything else to tell us about Dad's hairy beanbag simulator?
No, thank God. There's that's probably it, really, to go through with that one.
Cool. But there's a review coming soon.
Yes. So I'm putting the final touches on it today, tomorrow. We'll have a chat about it after that. I'll show it off.
Sorry to cut you off. If you're listening to the podcast right now and you're not currently a subscriber to the Aussie Gamers Express YouTube channel, go across there now and do it, because most of our reviews are coming through in the form of video, and they're going up on YouTube, and they're getting pretty good. Snoogs is doing some good stuff. I've put up some stuff that I like. I think it's cool. I've showed my family members, and they went, "That's funny." So, I don't know. You might like it. So go and
mum
subscribe.
Says I'm cool.
Yep. I didn't show my mum. All right, what else you got?
The other big one. So after 4 long years of waiting, PlayStation 4 finally has Premier Racer. And I do have one statement that's actually part of my review that we'll throw out here as well.
What are you talking about, man? You've already done your Project Cars 2 review a few weeks ago. What?
Oh, this one's for GT Sport.
Oh.
This is the premier one. This is polyphony digital. This is full backing. This is, VR support, everything. 4K, 60 frames. Absolutely stunning. But I do have one statement for it.
You go nuts.
I think they should have held it off a bit longer.
It's no good.
There's 2 sides to this story, okay? So, first and foremost, Polyphony has shown its pedigree once again. Everything in GT Sport looks absolutely phenomenal. I cannot fault anything.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what I'm racing, where I'm racing, what time of day I'm racing. There is 0 screens tearing, skipping, anything like that. I am running it. I've got it mostly on my monitor, which is only a 1080 monitor, but I have hooked it up to my television, which is a 4K TV, and it looks even better. So it's running in 4K off a PS4 Pro, and everything that you would expect when you have Polyphony and Gran Turismo next to each other is there for it. That's, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
So what's wrong with it?
It leaves everything else for dead. What's wrong with it? I'm a GT fan. I'm a Gran Turismo fan. I always have been since the very first one on PlayStation original, and it's always had this certain sense about it that you can jump on, you can race, you can build yourself, you can build your driver, you can, grow within the game.
What
GT Sport has no standout career mode. So the career mode that's there, they still call it a career, but all it is an extended license test, pretty much.
I saw that when I was playing with you the other night, and I was talking to you, and you said there's no career, and I'm like, there's a career. It says career mode right here. What are you talking about? Are you blind?
Yes.
And you said go into it, have a look, and I had a look, and that's not my understanding of a career mode. My understanding of a career mode in a racer doesn't necessarily need to be a story, but it's
a tree. You start at the bottom, you work your way up.
Yeah, it's like, you start and you do like a tournament or something. You do races, which eventually builds up to massive, big ticket races. That just looked like what you said, which is kind of like an extension of the license. It just looked like a bunch of like trials.
Well, that's essentially what it is. So you've got your licenses, you've got your challenges, which are, you know, hit this corner perfectly or do it in this sort of time, which again is just an extension of the license tryouts.
That doesn't meet the definition of what the word campaign means.
No. Everything you do in there, though, like this is where I mean it gets. There's two sides to the coin. Everything you do in there goes towards your progression. You're making money. You're building XP. You're, you know, progressing yourself to get better cars. But here's another flip side. GT Sport is designed more to be an online FIA accredited racer. So once you finally get online, the waiting begins.
Oh, we can't forget the fact that you're not allowed to go online until you watch 2 YouTube videos where the game says, "Don't be an asshat."
Yes.
And you literally just need to watch them. You don't even need to agree like a terms and conditions. Don't run people off the track because you look like a prick.
An asshat. Yeah, it's what is it? Driving etiquette. It goes through driving, and it explains. And to be fair, in regards to that side of it, the online racing that I have done, 90% of the people are very forgiving like that. You know, you're given the racing room. You don't generally get punted off the track. As funnily as it sounds, I'm yet to actually race against another Australian. Everyone that I have raced against has been Japanese or Korean.
Okay, well, when I watched the "Don't Be a Prick" video, I went, "Ooh, I probably just won't play online."
Yeah, I thought that as well. But you actually start to when you realise that everyone's not barging and pushing and whatnot, you kind of get into that same sort of feeling, and you start to give each other a bit of racing room until the last lap. The last lap seems to be all out. Get out, move, get out of my way.
I don't like that idea because, look, I'm not a very good racer. If I want to muck around, like if I want to have a go at a racer, I'm not very good, and the chances are I might forget to brake at a certain point, and I might overshoot, and I might hit the car in front of me.
Yep.
Now that's not me racing like an asshole. That's me racing like a noob.
Yeah.
Why is there no noob section?
There is a noob section. It's called arcade.
Is that online though?
No.
Yeah, see, that's shit.
See, you can race against friends like we did the other day.
Yeah.
And you know, you can set up a lobby so all your mates can come in and you can have a race. You know, if you've got 15 mates playing it, all 15 can get in there, and you know, you can have a load of fun.
Yeah, but I couldn't plow into you because I kept turning into a ghost.
Yes, so that's one of the safety things they have, which, funnily enough, when I accidentally overshoot a corner, it does it to me where I end up a ghost and I go straight through someone and off into the dust, which is fine because I stuffed up. But when I'm the car in front, it seems to be that they just plough straight into the side of me and push me off into the. So there's still some tweaking and whatnot to be done there, but the fact that the racing is good. I personally don't like, being that I have very limited time to be able to get on and play. I'd like to be able to jump on and, you know, have a matchmaking like I can with Siege or, you know, the Division or something like that, where I can jump in. It's constantly booting up a game, right? So you constantly, the next spot that you drop into, that's when your next game is. GT Sport, on the other hand, when you go online, you've got to actually wait for the next race to start. So if I jump on, if I was to turn it on now, I don't think there's a race starting until 10 o'clock tonight.
Hang on,
so I can jump on. I can jump on and I usually don't get on until about 10 o'clock anyway, so there could be earlier ones, but I can jump on now, and that first race of the day, I can go and do my practice sessions and put in my qualifying and tweak my car if I'm allowed to because of the settings and whatnot. And I can do all that now, where I'm literally buzzing around a track by myself.
Nah, surely that's a setting. You should be able to just race people.
Nope.
100%. You know that.
100%. It's exactly the same as what the beta was. You wait for the race.
Are you for real?
And each night there is 3 different races, and they roll along throughout the night. So I'll say I'll start a race at 9 o'clock, and that'll finish at 9:15. At 9:25, the next one will start.
See, that sounds like a good mode, but that can't be the only mode.
No, there's the arcade mode where you can jump on and you can, play Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Which is very much what it feels like. It just it is so heavily on this online racing. There is a part where I was stuffing around trying to figure out what stuff does. So I went into one of the races which says that it starts on the 8th of November. I'm like, all right, no worries, we'll have a look at this. So I have a look at it, and it goes, what car do you want to race? So I'm clicking through, and there's the one of the Ford GT cars. All right, I'll click on that, and it comes up, do you agree with this contract? Ford's going to loan you the cars for the championship. I'm like, whatever. Click OK. It does a fake signature of Snoogs, and away you go. I'm like, all right, no worries. So then I have a look at it, and the race doesn't start until November. And then it's a championship, so every Saturday night for 4 weeks, there's a race. And you pick which one you're going to race at that night. So I can say, okay, at 10 o'clock I'm going to be on. That's the race I pick. And between now and then, I can practice as much as I want. I can tweak whatever I want. I can get it to the point where I'm doing the fastest possible lap that I can do. But to actually do the race, 8th of November.
Wow. See, that sounds good. That sounds like a good mode, but I wouldn't be happy that if that's the only one. Sorry, Rem, you were going to say?
Yeah, I was just thinking, all this is sounding very, very optimized toward the gamer who wants to be the pro racer, who wants to do this championship style racing. And yet, with a lot of the changes that they've made in it, by the sounds of it, they're almost appealing to more of an arcade public. I mean, I was reading something about it the other day, and Yamuchi was quoted as saying that compared to 20 years ago when the first Gran Turismo came out, when people knew, if you change an air filter or increase compression ratios, what they do with your car, but now people don't have the knowledge, they're not interested, so we've just completely simplified everything and got it user-friendly. So, I don't know, it seems like a conflict to me, where you're sort of simplifying things for a very easy user base, and yet the whole game is constructed in such a way where you're actually required to put quite a lot of effort and thought into what you're doing.
Yeah, well, there's not only that aspect. One thing that I was looking forward to doing, because I have done it in every GT so far, one of my favourite cars of all time is the Nissan GTR R32 Skyline. The R34 Skyline. Yeah. It's one of my favourites, and every GT that it's been in, I have got one. I have got myself a canary yellow one, and I have done every single upgrade possible to it, to the point where I have a 1400 horsepower just monster. And you go and take that on the track and go screaming and go nuts with it. This one doesn't have the plethora of cars that others have, which I'm fine with, because the stuff that they do have looks gorgeous. It really does not do it justice unless you've seen it. And so I'm fine with that, because the new GTR's on there, which I love as well. But there's no more, swapping out the engine, swapping out the drive, changing, putting a sports air filter on a standard car, or a different turbo or different ratios or anything like that. You can still go in and change, the gearbox settings if the race that you've picked allows you to. but generally it's get in and race. And when you compare the actual core racing to something like Project Cars, when you get off Project Cars, if you've done a race, whether it be online or whether you're just doing it by yourself, you feel like you've raced. You get off it and you're tensed up. There's been occasions where after an online race, I felt like I needed to use one hand to pry the other one off the steering wheel, just because you're concentrating that hard and the car feels like a race car. It feels like a beast. It feels angry, like it's about to bite you.
Mm.
GT Sport, I have anti-lock braking set on 1, which is very minimal, and no other assists on, and throwing it around the track. For me to actually have to spin the car, you need to throw it, and I mean like reef on the steering wheel to actually try and get the thing sliding. And even then, if you're in a race car and you start to get that arse sliding, you usually just use a lot of right boot to get out of it. You don't have that stress, that tension,
right,
that others give you. I suppose you probably the best way to put it.
Well, that's weird, man. You've opened up my eyes a bit there. I didn't realise half of that stuff.
It's as a long-time fan, I'm actually a little bit upset with it. Like I'm disappointed in it. There's a lot of it to enjoy. Don't get me wrong. It is a good game, as long as, one, you have the time to put into it. You have the time to wait, because there is a lot of waiting. Because even when to do the online stuff, right? So you'll do your laps, your warm-up laps, your qualifying, whatever you do, and then you join the game. So then it'll take your qualifying time, and you're sitting there on a loading screen for this whole thing. And it's a good-looking loading screen, but it's still a loading screen. And you're waiting for it to matchmake you with other people that are, within a couple of seconds of your time. So there's that. And then you wait for everyone to get to the same lobby. And then you go and you jump in the car and you go out, and you usually get a half a lap to 3/4 of a lap to warm yourself up and get ready to go. And then you wait for the next, and then you wait for everyone else to get out and do theirs. And then you get in, and you go and do your, depending on the race length, 2 laps, 4 laps. I think there's one on last night was 19 laps of one of the shorter tracks. Off the top of my head which one it was. So generally 10, 15 minutes max, you're then off. You're done. And then you wait for the next one.
Yeah, not impressive.
Keep rolling on it. And then you've got the VR side of it.
Oh.
So as we heard the other week, I was lucky enough to win a VR. So I've got a nice one sitting next to me. And the VR is awesome. It is absolutely phenomenal. But there needs to be more.
Is it right that it's just 1v1?
It's 1v1. It's you versus one AI. And from speaking with the likes of Roy Boy, he pointed me towards something that one of the creators from Polyphony had actually spoken to part of the media, so I had a read of that as well. The reason for that is the tracks are rendered in such a way, and your car is rendered in such fine detail that the PS4 just doesn't have enough power to put any more on the track. Which is fine. I can deal with that because it's enough to get going constantly. But the bit that I don't like is that it's a maximum on the longer tracks. It's only 2 laps ago.
This whole VR, man, it's just, there's not enough. And when you get something good, it's only for a short time.
Yeah. I can't fault the VR. It's probably one of the best looking VRs that I've seen so far. And as with our EB Expo special, you know, for someone like Reggio, who's I personally know he's not a fit, like he doesn't understand it until he will see it. For him to understand that, you know, that's what it's for. It's for a cockpit.
Mm.
There needs to be a lot more. Because really, if I could get on there, set myself on Mount Panorama, I want to do 15 laps. That'll be me. I'll use the VR probably every night of the week.
Yeah. Can you do it on Mount Panorama?
I can. I could do 2 laps of Mount Panorama. So a standing start, so I get 1 flying lap.
Oh, see?
Mind you, my flying lap is damn quick compared to standard. It is probably 5 to 6 seconds quicker.
Nice.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah, the VR really gets in there.
That's why you start
better.
thinking that, okay, well, why can't I have this all the time?
Yeah.
And yeah, you still get that sensation. And even after that, the first couple of times that I did it with a few of the different tracks that I was doing it on, you know, you do 2 laps and you're kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm done for now, because you do get immersed into it, and you know, everything starts to race and you feel yourself getting worked up. But once you get used to it, you want it for a bit longer. And
okay.
Yeah, it's just it's a big miss. But the game itself, there's positives, there's negatives. There's a lot more that could have been done.
Yeah.
And for something that, you know, visually it's number one, but when you roll everything together, there's others that are well in front of it.
All right. Well, we'll see how your review pans out when that's up on YouTube. Anything else?
No, mate. That's it from me, really. I've just been playing through those 2 mainly, just getting the reviews done.
Okay. Well, I'll run through what I've been doing.
Sounds like a plan.
I am going to start at the top with the big one. I've been playing The Evil Within 2 on the Xbox One for review. Now, the review is available already on the Aussie Games Express YouTube channel. It's also up on our Facebook. It's a must watch, is it?
It's that good. It's good.
Yeah, you like it. Well, thank you.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
You kind of have to say that, though.
No, not really. I'm an ass.
Obliged.
Not really. I'm an ass. Is that what you said? All right. Well, I'll talk about the review video I made, but I'll go through the game first. Just a bit of a recap on it. Now, I played the original The Evil Within a few weeks ago, maybe a couple of months ago, because it was on special for like $7.50. And I wasn't impressed at all. I didn't really like it. The performance is garbage. Actually, Snoogs, do you remember me saying about the cinematic bars?
Yeah, the cinematic bars, and you actually pulled up the official resolutions of it, which were quite poor for how badly it was running. I
think it's been patched, because I remember when I first heard about this game, there was no mention of this setting. But today, I booted up The Evil Within, and I was going through the settings. You can turn those black bars off.
Did you do it?
I did.
Did it stretch the image, though? Or did it just fill it in?
No, it worked proper. It looked like a proper 1080 screen. Obviously, it wasn't running at 1080, but I think it's been patched in, because I don't remember that being a point that was made back when this game originally launched. But it's a setting now. On the Xbox, it's a setting anyway. I would imagine it'd be the same on the PS4 now. But it's a setting in there. You can actually turn those black bars off. I realised that and went, oh, get rid of them. They're hitting. Like, I understand cinematic if you want to do that in a cutscene, fade them in or something. But I don't want to play with black bars. It's like the Order 1886 or whatever it's called. That was like that too. But anyway, you can turn them off. The Evil Within 2 doesn't have the black bars. It's great. It's full screen, blah, blah, blah. Still runs like hell. It's clunky. The frame rate, it is better than the first game. but it's still the frame rate's not quite there. You're not getting 30 frames. I would say that a good 90% of the game's in the 20s on the Xbox One. I've done some research. Apparently it is a little bit better on PlayStation 4, but it's not optimized for the Pro yet, which is it's crazy. But I think when the Xbox One X comes out, they're also going to do Pro support, I believe. So and X support. But anyway, that's probably the worst thing about the game is that it runs pretty poorly on console. And I covered that in the review that I wasn't happy with it. But moving past that, the game itself is actually quite good. And I'm a little bit disappointed that I didn't persevere with the first one. But there's a couple of reasons why I didn't. And the first reason is the game presents itself as one thing. I'm going to try and be a little bit vague here for the saving spoilers. The original game presents itself as one thing, but it is in fact something completely different. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. It's a horror game. It's supposed to be a scary game, but it's all very well explained why all of this supernatural crazy monster shit is going on. But I'd only played a little bit of the first game. I never got any of that explanation. So when I went into The Evil Within 2, I was lost. I was confused, and I'm watching it, and the characters on screen are saying things, and I'm thinking, these people are assuming I know what they're talking about because I've got no clue whatsoever. I felt like I was in a room with scientists and they were explaining nuclear physics. I'm like, what? What is that? Who is that? What is going on? The first game was all about scary horror creatures. I was confused. A lot of sequels will explain where you're up to. The Evil Within 2 doesn't do that. You have to play The Evil Within 1, or at least get somebody to give you a rundown. So that's the second, but I can't necessarily say that's a negative.
Does it depend on the first game at all, or is it pretty standalone?
No, it definitely does, Deb. If you don't play the first one, you're confused through most of the game.
Right. Okay.
Like obviously there is a new story, like the actual campaign portion is completely separate, but there's a lot of things that go on that I think the player it's assumed knowledge. It's assumed that... Sorry?
No, right. So like within the world itself.
Yeah.
Outside of the story.
Yep. Whether it be references, actual enemies that return from the first one, and there are I'll try not to be. It's kind of a little bit spoilery. There are like bosses or mini bosses in The Evil Within 2 that were in The Evil Within, the first game, and your character even says, I took you down last time. I know how to take you down this time. I'm like, no, I don't.
I don't know.
I seriously don't. I can't. We've got amnesia. I don't know. I didn't play the first game. Don't punish me.
Please tell me how.
It's not so hard to work it out for yourself how to do it. It's not one of those bosses where it's like, a massive puzzle or anything like that. You can work it out. But it's those references that are going to be lost on people that didn't play the first game. You're like, is there something significant about this character? Was there a big incident in the first one that involved this person? And that sort of stuff. Mind you, I did a little bit of homework. Because I hadn't played the first one fully, I did a little bit of homework, so I was aware of who these people were. But I didn't know everything about them. So I did feel a little bit like, it was quite frequent throughout my playthrough where I was thinking, Kind of should have played the first one first.
It sounds like a good sales pitch for the original game.
Yeah, and in saying that, I did start playing the first one again today and played more of it. And it's kind of silly, but because I've played the second one, I'm starting to understand the first one a little bit more. It's quite arse about. I know, it's backwards, but I don't know.
Well, you want to know what happens now. And
Well, I already know what happens because I did do that research to find out, but I still want to play it because watching a video and short snippets doesn't do it justice. I'm sure it's actually quite amazing. And I didn't actually realise how in-depth, how twisted, and how actually well thought out the story was. It's actually pretty good, the first one, from what I know of it. So that's why I want to play it through. So I've played that a little bit today after having finished the second one. But in sort of in summing up The Evil Within 2, if you can look past the clunky controls, it's actually a really good game. I rate it. I'm happy to have played it now, and I'm probably lucky that I've got another game to go straight into, not having played the first one. So there you go. Now with the video, I wanted to give you a little bit of a behind the scenes. How did he do this, and something to look for if you go and have a look at it again. You know the opening scene, where I've sort of pretended to be like a first person. Yeah, where I've got a massive wound on my arm, which I had to shave my arm hairs to put that on. So I've got this like bald patch on my arm. It's quite funny, but it's nothing smooth. But anyway, so it seems
the itch kicks in.
Hey,
For a couple more hours, and then the itch will kick.
Oh, nah, I don't think it'll get itchy on there. Well, hopefully, anyway. But the good time of the year to do a review for a horror game. It's nearly Halloween, so that stuff was like everywhere. So I was able to get the fake injury, the glue to put it on the skin, some fake blood that kind of just looked like chunky jam. I could have just used jam.
Probably.
And so I put all that stuff on my arm, and then I thought, how am I going to film this? Because I need to hold a cup of coffee because it's part of the gag, right? I need to hold a cup of coffee in one arm, in one hand, and the other arm has to be presented on camera with the injury. So I'm like, what am I going to do with this camera? And then I thought, hang on a minute, I ride a motorbike. I have a helmet, and on my helmet is a helmet cam.
Nice.
So I used the helmet cam to film it. It's a good helmet cam too. It's 1080p helmet cam. So I used that. So in saying that, I set up lighting. So it's not studio lighting or anything like that. It was just what I had handy. But it casts a shadow from behind me. And if you look at, when I go up to the wall, you can see I've got like a massive head in the shadow. And it's the helmet. I'm wearing a helmet. And nice. It's a motorcycle helmet. And if you look on the right side of my head, you can actually make out the camera on the side of the helmet in the shadow. And I had to edit the footage as well, because the way the helmet cam is mounted, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see like part of the helmet. Mm-hmm. So I had to crop the video so the helmet wasn't in there. How's that for a little bit of behind the scenes for you?
Ace production skills. Love it.
And then, I went and added like the health bar or the fading in, the made the screen partially black and white. Had the potion, drinking a potion when I healed up, and that the injury sound, like the beeping, I think that was from Zelda. I think I got that from Legend of Zelda when you're low health. So there's all that sort of stuff involved. That was probably half a day's work there in about 35 seconds of video.
It's brilliant how much goes into it, isn't it?
I know. I'm like, oh god. Oh dear. But yeah, anyway, and yeah, I had fun with the rest of the review. There's a little bit of humour that I tried to inject into it, sort of poking fun at the same time as trying to respect the fact that the game is actually pretty decent and worth your time. If you are a fan of the original Evil Within, I would definitely say that the Evil Within 2 is something you should be playing. Good game, real good game. All right, do you just have any questions about it?
No.
No, I think you covered it.
Jump on those. Well, you've seen the review now, haven't you? So I suppose that's all
Right.
good. All right.
Yeah.
We'll move on. I've already spoken about GT Sport. I've got Virtual Earth Online. There's a survival mode that I've given a go this week as well. This is a real ambitious project being taken on board by these guys. Small development team putting together, if you don't know what Virtual Earth Online is, or VEO, it's best described as like Minecraft. But you know, Minecraft has I think they're in-game, they're 1 meter by 1 meter cubes. And that's it. They're all cubes. That's the only building blocks you can use. In Virtual Earth Online, they've got all different shapes. So there's small cubes, there's big cubes, there's... what are those things that are in... Pyramids. There we go. I was going to say
Pyramids.
those things that are in Egypt. There's all different shapes and geometrical bits and pieces that you can use, and they're slowly piecing together a survival mode as well. Now it's not finished yet, so I've really just sort of had a bit of a muck around with it, but it's working good. It plays well, feels good. There was no real. I don't think when I played it there was no enemies in it. They're sort of slowly adding. I mean, I've been talking with the guys that are making the game, and they're slowly feeding me unfinished versions of the game to get hands on with it and help spread the word, obviously. But it's not finished yet, and it's slowly progressing to a point where I think this is going to be something worth playing. It looks good. I'm really intrigued to see what the enemies are going to look like. So.
And it runs on my potato.
It will run on your computer, absolutely.
So that's a good start.
And there's also the survival mode, I believe, is going to be offline. The version I've got's offline, so I'm not sure if the final version will be offline. There might be a version that isn't always online. But the big... I've spoken about it before, if you recall. Virtual Earth Online is basically the entire Earth made in in blocks, and once it launches, I think you know how you can go and buy starter packs for these free to play games.
Yeah,
I think that the idea behind Virtual Earth Online is that you buy a block of land on planet Earth.
Oh, sort of make it your own.
Yes, and it's yours then. And
sounds good.
I guess theoretically you can go and actually buy your own block of land where you live. That's the concept there, and that's why I'm saying it's very ambiguous. If this actually it happens that way, that sounds really cool. I would like to go in and have my own property, and. Maybe your next door neighbours are a pain in the arse, so I'll buy them out and make it a swimming pool. Stuff like that. It sounds really cool. Go and check out Virtual Earth Online on the internets. go to the website. Actually, I think there's
my neighbour and me are cleansing fire.
I think there's a link. Have I got a link on our website? If not, I'll have to put one.
We've got a few links on the website. If not, we've been posting up quite a bit about it on Facebook. And
yeah, it's on Facebook. If not, I'll sort something out for the website. But yeah, check it out, Virtual Earth Online. Follow them on Twitter too. They'll give you some updates on there. All right, moving on. Well, I had quite an expensive week. Both mine and my wife Rachel's mobile phones were due for renewal on the contract. So we did that. We went and upgraded our mobile phones. And to your delight, Snoogs, do you want to guess what type of phone I got?
iPhone.
Your favourite. I got myself... well, both of us, Rachel and I, got matching phones. Isn't that sweet? We both got iPhone 7s, right?
Nice.
Now, that's not the interesting bit. Put that aside. We're not Aussie Gamers Express iPhone bizzo. The cool thing is that our older phones are still worth a fair bit of money. They're iPhone 6s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had a brilliant idea. I wasn't getting an Xbox One X.
One of those ones, eh? A brilliant one.
Yes, a brilliant one.
Sure,
Now, I wasn't...
Point, aren't they?
Eat a dick.
Shut up.
The Xbox One X was a little bit beyond my reach financially for this year. So, and I had my heart set on a Nintendo Switch. And it was a decision that was made on, well, I don't have a Nintendo Switch, so I can't play the newest Nintendo games. I have an Xbox. I've got an Xbox One and an One S. I can play all of the Xbox games, so I don't need to get the Xbox One X first. So the Switch won over. So I've saved up my pennies for the last 6 to 8 months, and I've got the money sitting there ready to pay for the Nintendo Switch. But
in
this
less
thing...
than 3 hours.
How, what?
The Switch comes out in less than 3 hours.
Oh, yes, that's correct. I'm actually going tonight to pick it up, now that you mention
Nice.
that. Well, the Switch is out. You mean the Super Mario
that's
Odyssey Special Edition is out in 3 hours from now. But yeah, so I had the money there ready to pay for it. But then I had this brilliant idea. That's a few and far in between. I went into EB Games, my local EB Games at Penrith Westfields, and I said to the guy, "You guys still take trade-ins of iPhones?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." I traded in both of those iPhones, which gave me more than enough to pay for the Switch. So I paid for the Switch with the trade-in, which left money over. And I said to the guy, how about put the leftover money on a pre-order for the Xbox One X for me? And he said, yeah, no worries. And then in my head, I'm like, well, I've still got the money that I was going to pay for the Switch with. That's going to go, and that's more than enough to pay for the remainder of the Xbox One X. Am I a financial genius or what?
I think you might be.
My wife said to me, she goes, "Oh, you'd be really good as a financial controller." I said, nah, I'm really good with my money because I know where it is and I've earned it. Other people's money, I'm just like, you get a car, you get a car. But yeah, so just in that one day yesterday, I pre-ordered my Xbox One X and paid off my Nintendo Switch Super Mario Odyssey Edition, and got rid of 2 older phones that I'm no longer using. So how good was that? Oh, and on top of that, I had $90 worth of vouchers, gift vouchers that I was given on my birthday that I hadn't used. So I picked up the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which is apparently a must. Yeah, so I got that. And I've done an unboxing of that on a video that went up on our Facebook page and YouTube channel earlier today. So if you're listening to this, that'll be over there if you want to see that. And I show off the Easter egg. There's an Easter egg hidden on the Pro Controller for the Switch. But I'm not going to tell you.
That was awesome.
You saw that, did you? Did you watch it?
I did, yeah.
Oh, very good. I was going to say
hideaway.
I'm not gonna share what it actually is. I'm going to do cross promotion for that video. But yeah, so and shout out to EB Games Penrith, because that transaction I think could have been a nightmare with the wrong salesperson. But old mate Super Moustache, he knew what he was doing, and that was really easy and painless. So good. And even like the transaction involved, like, okay, so I've got, like, I had those vouchers, like I said, it was $90, but the controller was $99. So he's like, oh yeah, I can take the rest of it from the remainder that you had from the trade-in that was on the Switch, then the rest that was going to go. I'm like, dude, if you know what's going on, just do it.
You just told him to stop being a dog and give you $9 off. You spend it.
You know what? If I get service like that, I don't want $1. I don't want a cent discount if service is going to be like that. That's the kind of person I am. If I get shit service, you better start discounting. But yeah, I'm happy to pay for good service, and that was quick, efficient. The guy knew what he was talking about. I had a couple of questions. He answered them without any problems. It's been a long time since I've been served like that anywhere. Not just picking on EB Games, anywhere in particular. So I've got to say they're brilliant. That's about it. I've been playing mobile games. I'm still playing that bloody Bowmasters game, Snoogs.
It has a Halloween one coming.
Yeah, you get daily crates and stuff, so I've got to boot it up, and I'm a bit of a crack shot now. But anyway, one thing I wanted to mention, because I haven't got it anywhere listed for the rest of the show, but the screenshots for Metal Gear Survive. Have you seen them?
Yes.
We'll discuss it further in last words. How about that?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, let's go into video game news. All right, first up, Kinect is dead. Oh, it's a bit of a shame. While many police, oh God, I can't even read, let alone speak. Try again. While many people believe that Microsoft's motion-based controller, the Kinect, has been dead for a while already, Microsoft have conceded and are cancelling the production of the underused tech. Creator Alex Kipman has told Co-Design in an interview that Microsoft is not making more of the devices when retailers sell their remaining stock. So that's it. They're not making it anymore. They're just accepting the fact that they don't give a shit about it anymore.
Yeah. Well, they've been walking away for a while.
Yeah.
Been trying to step away every time they've had a new update about the Xboxes. Less and less.
Absolutely. The biggest tell for me that they weren't supporting it anymore. Do either of you have Kinect?
No.
No. Okay, I have Kinect. The biggest tell for me that they were going to let it die is that it doesn't work anymore. And I'm not joking. Ever since they changed to voice commands instead of Xbox do this, Xbox volume up, Xbox watch TV, they switched to Hey Cortana. It has never worked since.
Yeah.
Well, you've played Halo. Cortana's a sassy bitch. She's not listening to you.
I'm downright pissed off because I used to use that all the time. Like, I would get home from work, walk past the TV and go, Xbox on. And go straight into the kitchen and make a coffee. And just saying Xbox on would turn my Xbox on, my TV, my set-top box, and my stereo. And it would automatically flip it over to the TV. And it would play the channel that was on last on my set-top box while I'm in the kitchen making a coffee. Now, that's convenience. That's excellent. And then at the end of the night, it's Xbox, turn off, yes. Because then it asks you, do you really want to turn off? And you say yes. And it turns off. None of these features work anymore. I've been often at the dinner table where I've gotten up, go to dinner, and I've forgotten the TV on. So I'll just say, Xbox mute. And the sound mutes, and we have dinner together as a family. None of that works anymore. I go in and I check the settings where the settings are on. It's on. It's calibrated. I'll do a calibration. It's all done. Still doesn't work. I think it's a massive shame.
It's got a lot to do with that connector as well. You tried it on the original.
Well, that might be the issue. If that is the issue, that's pretty crap.
Well, it was free.
Well, it's not anymore, but you have to actually pay for that. I think it's $50, $100.
$50 or something, yeah.
Something like that. Too expensive if it doesn't work properly. We had a couple of comments on this post about Kinect being dead on our Facebook page. I'm just going to quickly go through those. Mark J. Travis says, such a shame the Kinect was great for party chat, Skype, and very accurate with games. I've never really cared about it for games myself, but those other things were really cool. Chauncey Gonzalez says, Roffle. What's that? Roll on floor laughing.
On the floor laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Okay. He obviously doesn't care. Jared B says, I enjoyed the Kinect on the 360 with like only 2 games to play it with, but it was like asking yourself, why not just use a Wii? Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Tyler Short says, definitely had lots of potential, just wished it had worked a bit better. True. A lot of potential, a lot of good tech in it. Just nobody cared. And there's one from yourself, Rem. On a more positive note, if you should wish to use the camera, the most recent Xbox upgrade will allow for a webcam to be connected. One that works. Yep. Another telltale sign that they're killing the Kinect. Because they're making third-party stuff compatible.
Exactly. So they're still allowing you to do all your video stuff that you want to do, but while walking away from a system that just hasn't done them any favours.
Yeah, it's just cost them a lot of money, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, next bit of news here. We've got original Xbox games on Xbox One. So I've got a list here that there's 13 original Xbox games that are going to be playable on the Xbox One starting October 24. Before I go through that list, Deb, are you going to play any original Xbox games on your Xbox One?
I mean, I don't really play that many backwards compatible at the moment. Truth be told, I never had the original Xbox, so I didn't form that nostalgia bond with a lot of the games at that point. 360 is sort of where I came in. Prior to that, I'm all PlayStation. So for me, OG, not so much. 360 is debatable.
Okay. What about you, Pat?
Maybe.
First
question is, how do they run?
Yeah.
The Xbox 360 backwards compat sections off quite a large chunk of your hard drive so that it can run the 360 system on it.
Mm.
So if they're going to take another portion of my hard drive, they can keep it.
I don't know.
I've only got a 500 gig in my Xbox. I do have a terabyte attached to it, but my total's only 500. I would like to use that with games, not with, emulators or whatever they got to run it.
Yep.
That being said, Black's on there.
Well, I've heard everybody talking about Black, but this list that I've got doesn't have it on it. I don't know if there's been an extra bunch of games that have been announced since this list was made. But anyway, I've got Blood Rain 2, Crimson Skies, Dead to Rights, Fusion Frenzy, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, The King of Fighters, Neo Wave, Ninja Gaiden Black. Is that a game, Ninja Gaiden Black, or is this a typo when it's supposed to be Black?
No, it's Ninja Gaiden and then Black, I think.
Okay, that might be a typo in the mix-up here. Okay, so Black is on there then. The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, Psychonauts, Red Faction 2, Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic. So those are the games. Actually, how many was that? Because I said there was 13.
Yeah, I'm seeing Black on this list, which is on the Xbox.com. They definitely got blacklisted.
The image that we used as the main image, Black's on there. It's right in the middle at the bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, you got Black, Crimson Skies, Fusion Frenzy, etc.
That's only 12 that I've got.
2, 3.
What did I miss?
Did you get Blood Rain? I don't remember hearing that.
Yeah, Blood Rain 2.
Yeah, so you got Blood Rain, Ghoulies, Psychonauts, Pirates, Black, Crimson Skies, Knights of the Old Republic, Ninja Gaiden. Another one.
Would you say Knights? Oh, not Knights of the Old Republic.
Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, Fusion Frenzy,
Red Faction 2, and there's one that I can't read the name of. It's like an.
I don't know. Anyway, there's apparently 13.
Yeah.
King of Fighters. Yeah, got King of Fighters there. I don't know, whatever. But there's a whole bunch of original Xbox games coming across their backwards compatibility. Look, I went looking for them today, my original Xbox games. That I never had an original Xbox. I bought them from a garage sale just because if I see cheap games, I'll just buy them. I don't even care if I've got an Xbox for.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I've got them. I went looking for them today. I have no idea where they are.
Rachel got rid of them many moons ago.
No, she bought them for me. She bought these ones for me actually. But yeah, I don't know where they are. If I can find them and they work, I'll probably put it in to try it, and that'll probably be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, all right, move on. Last bit of news here. Xbox Stay and Play. As fans around Australia prepare for the launch of the world's most powerful video game console on November 7, Xbox Australia has announced plans to open the doors of the Xbox Stay and Play, a boutique gaming themed sleepover experience that will give its guests unhindered access to the Xbox One X days before its official launch. And this is situated in front of the iconic Sydney skyline in Parama Park, Piermont. Never been there. The first of its kind establishment will open its doors to fans from Friday the 3rd of November until Sunday the 5th of November, with 4 suites themed around some of the biggest and most popular games available on the console, including Forza 7, AC Origins, and Minecraft. Right. Does this sound like a good idea? Oh, yeah, go ahead if you've got a question.
First question is this open to everyone, or is this limited people getting in?
Limited people to stay over. During the day, the lobby is open from 8 till, is it 5 or is it till 8 as well? I can't. Have you got that there, Luke?
No, I haven't got that in front of me.
Okay, well, yeah, they've got a lobby section which is open all day, which is you can just rock up. Mm-hmm. During the day, the suites, so to speak, you can actually book a 2-hour session, so it's kind of like prostitution. But in a very cool way. But yeah, so it's 2-hour session you can have with you book them out, and the lobby's always open that you can go in there during the day, just rock up. But yeah, on our website there's full information about it, and it's got all the links in there to where you can register. Though I dare say by the time this comes out, it's gone.
Yeah, here it is. Snoogs. Walk-ins from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. and then your check-in for overnight is 8 p.m. till 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't imagine that any gamer staying up all night. They probably won't go to sleep, but I can't imagine them waking up at 8 o'clock to get out.
No, you'd be staying awake all night. You'd be sleeping through the day and going all night.
Probably.
Old school LAN style.
But I don't know. I don't think this is probably not for me. I can wait a couple of days to have my own, I think.
Yeah, we'll have our own at your place. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we come over and have a sleepover here. BYO onesie though.
Yeah, have to get one of those.
Fuck it, but they're still toting these Xbox onesies. It's not winter here. Who's wearing a onesie in bloody, what are we in? October in Australia.
Summer weight?
What was that?
Summer weight.
Summer, what, to sweat off?
Yeah.
No thanks. I'll die of dehydration. But anyway, that's a thing. If it sounds good to you, go and do it. First in, first served though, for the overnighters.
Yeah, and I got this little bit of information, and I clicked on it first, and the overnighters were already gone.
Oh,
and
really?
I got this information at like 6:30 in the morning.
Jeez.
So
no thanks.
It was quick.
Is it? Do you have to pay?
No.
Oh, of course. That's why. Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, so you get I think you get fed and drinks and whatnot, and you get to keep the onesie.
Woohoo!
Yeah, well,
because you really wouldn't be, passing it off to the next person, take it off and wring it out and put it on the
Your
line.
turn.
Yuck! Yuck! All right, let's move on. That's the end of the news.
Sweaty moose knuckle.
Yuck. Enough. Keep your moose knuckle to yourself. Let's finish the news. Let's go on to user-created content. All right, what did we do this week? User-created content this week. I said it could be anything that you want to get off your chest. Got something that annoys you? Write it in the comments. I think I had a typo in there. Got something to say about anything? Comment away. So, first off, I'm just going to give some shout-outs for the people that like the post. There's not too many of them this week. Adam Ryle, Liam Gebhardt, Julian Callahan, and Bronx Tuwangai. Bronx, that name, good old Bronx, he has been around for years. He's a long-time fan of Age. Good on him. Thanks, Bronx. Absolute legend. Alright, so the first comment on there was from Paul David Clennett. He says, okay, what's a piece of gaming trivia you can share? And then he goes on to share his. This is a good one. Trevor from GTA 5 is partly based on someone from his hometown in the UK. I didn't realise you were a POM, Paul. That's cool. No issues there. We're not playing cricket. There is a prisoner in the UK called Charles Bronson. And I remember the first time I heard about this bloke, I'm thinking, what do you mean, Charles Bronson, that guy with the moustache that was like cool at fighting and stuff? The actor? No, not that Charles Bronson. This is criminal Charles Bronson. And he's the UK's most notorious convict. And there's a film called Bronson with Tom Hardy, and you can definitely see... What are you doing?
Sorry.
Are you sitting on your microphone?
No, adjusting my headset. I've had it charging, so I was trying to get the charge cable out. And I got halfway through it and went, meh. I'll just leave it in there.
Decided you just...
It was making a lot of noise, wasn't it?
It was making a lot of noise.
Sorry, I didn't realise.
It's all right. I just want to give
It's not live this week. We can edit it out.
No, I've been spoilt by the non-editing thing, so that's staying in.
Staying in.
Yeah.
Snoogs made a mistake. Let's highlight it. We'll increase the volume.
Yeah, that's it. I'll add that to the first 60 seconds of the show. But anyway, there's a film called Bronson with Tom Hardy, and you can definitely see that he's taken from that character, Charles Bronson, to create Trevor, which is really cool. And apparently it's a great film too. I've heard, I don't remember who it was telling me about it, but I've heard that from somebody else, that apparently this movie Bronson's pretty cool. So I'll have to check it out. Also, when Paul was was at E3 in the year 2000, he saw World of Warcraft running on PlayStation. In 2000, that'd be the PS3. And he hasn't seen any info on it since. That's interesting. I've never heard anything about World of Warcraft being on consoles either, have you?
2000 would have been the 2.
Is it? It was 2006. Yeah, 2006 or 2007 was the 3. Sorry, PS2. Yep. PS2 had World of Warcraft on it. Interesting. So you never heard anything about it?
No.
Mind you, in 2000, I don't actually think I'd heard of Warcraft back then.
I was playing it. Not World of Warcraft, but I was playing just standard Warcraft.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, apparently that's a thing. I took the time to find a couple of gaming facts that I could share. Did you know that the Nintendo 64 logo has exactly 64 faces and 64 vertices?
What's a vertice?
I don't know. But it's got 64 of them.
It's got 64 of them.
How cool's that? Because it's the Nintendo 64. Yeah,
a
right.
vertice is defined as the highest point or the point where two lines intersect. There you go.
So like edges, corners.
Like top of a mountain, for example.
There you go. The 64 of them. Good old Nintendo 64 logo. Do you reckon that was intentional? How hard would that be to do?
It's Nintendo. It was intentional.
Yeah, probably. Also, Capcom stands for Capsule Computers.
captured computers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hmm. You guys got any gaming trivia off the top of your head? Something interesting to share? Sounds good.
Nope.
Do you know anything? Do you know anything about any game that you think we don't know?
Not off the top of my head.
Jeez, you guys are great.
Yeah.
It's late.
What's your? It's late. It's 9:35.
It's late for me. I've got two little ones.
Oh, Thookie. Hey, Deb, what's your favourite game in the entire world?
Probably Tomb Raider, quite honestly.
Oh, which one?
It's the original.
Oh, the original.
The best one.
Oh, wow, that game was shit. Well, tell me something. Tell me something about the original Tomb Raider. Surely you remember something that was quirky about it.
Apart from all the glitches and shit. Gosh, let me think for a second. Jeez, come back to me.
Snoogs, what's your favourite game of all time?
I'll probably go back to the to Duke, really.
Duke Nukem 3D?
Mm.
Yep.
Can you think of something that was quirky about that nobody else, well, that you know at least? Don't worry about anyone else.
Sure.
Well, anyone would think that we do a video game podcast every week. Talk about games all the time. You know, we're admins for a Facebook page all about video games.
About things.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Who's it? What's it?
All right. What about in Tomb Raider? I don't know if it was the first one or not. But wasn't there a thing where you could lock the butler inside the freezer or the fridge?
Oh, number 2. Yeah.
Was that in the second one? Was it? So that was cool.
Yeah.
That was a little. That's a little bit of trivia. What else was cool? When you could jump and climb up on the ledge in Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm.
But then you could, instead of just climbing up normally, you could do that, like lift yourself up and flip over.
Yeah, I love doing that. That was great.
I used to do it all the time. Yeah. But I never knew what I was doing to make it do that.
That's the back trigger buttons or something.
I don't know. I have no idea.
It was the same button configuration as if you were jumping off a ledge, like a high ledge, and diving into the water. Dive.
Yep, I did that a few times too. I never knew what... Because what I would do is I would just press every button. And she'd do it every now and then. It would work. I never actually worked out what it was that you had to do to get that to work.
Oh, really?
There you go. So it was, I assume it was a button, but I didn't know which one. I just spammed it and got it. I'm like, oh, look, she's doing this fancy thing. I also had it on PC, and I did install the Nude Raider patch.
Of course you did.
Yep. Well, at the same time, back in those days, you were a young girl. I was very clearly a young boy. Snoogs, Duke Nukem 3D.
I've thinking about all the references that were in it. So it was very much a homage to, Stallone and Schwarzenegger. That's sort of who was actually modelled after. But there's a few homages to some other movies, actually.
What movie?
Know about that? So there's a thing from Star Wars where Luke's hanging upside down in one room. On one version, it's actually Yoda is hanging there. You can find a flattened T-1000 in another level.
Oh, okay.
And there's also Indiana Jones in another level. Is actually spiked to his hat and his whip still in his hands. So
very good use of Google in the downtime there, Snoogs. I appreciate that.
That's what it was for.
You know what I remember is when you could go up to the chicks that were on the stripper poles and press spacebar or whatever it was, and you'd throw money at them.
Throw money at them.
Yeah. Dance, baby.
Shake it. Shake it, baby.
Shake it, baby. That's what it was, yeah. And if you had the retail version for Australia, I think that it was like censored and stuff. They had like tassels on their boobs or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I could easily mod those games back then. It was really cool. Actually,
yeah, so could I.
It was so...
There was actually there was a folder. You just had to go into a folder, delete a file, and then boobs.
Yeah, but it was so easy to mod that I actually replaced all of the sound effects in the game. So I recorded using, it would have been the dodgiest microphone, but I had a microphone back then, and I recorded myself saying, bang! And then put the WAV file, because there was no compressed formats back then, no MP3 and all that sort of stuff, it was all WAV. Put the WAV into the folder and changed a bit of one of the, I think it was one of the executable files, and put that file in. So every time I shot the gun, instead of making the gun noise, it was just me going bang, bang, bang. I would not know how to do that today. That was me as a kid. And you know what kids are like when they're mucking around with computers and shit. I was amazing. Would not have a flying clue on how to do that these days. But there you go. All right, cool. I think we covered that one. And we've got the next one here from Eric Jenkins. He says, want cross-play on all formats, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and of course the last link, PS4. I think most of people in that boat. What do you guys think? You're not? You don't want it?
No. That's where my question came from. You know, it's all well and good for a lot of people to be jumping on this bandwagon, you know, and pointing the dirty finger at Sony because they won't come to the party, you know, the everyone together sort of thing.
Mm.
But me personally, no, I have no reason why. It doesn't bother me. But I'd actually like to know people's reasons why they want it. Like, what's the actual core reason? Not a just because, you know, but an actual reason as to why.
I think the biggest thing here is a lot of people are thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. I think they're expecting a lot more from cross-platform play than what can actually be delivered. Now, and people are saying, oh, it's as easy as flipping a switch. Okay, there is a bit to the infrastructure to intertwine the games that, yeah, probably is as simple as flipping a switch. But that's not the end. That's not the end. That's not where it finishes. Okay, so I go into a game and I'm on a PlayStation and there's a bunch of Xbox people. We're in the same game, but there's more to it. How do I interact with them?
Mm-hmm.
I can't get into a party chat on my PlayStation with people that are in a party chat on an Xbox. That can't work.
No, you have to start going third party for that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so then we're going to need some sort of third-party chat system, which is an in-game chat, right?
So the big thing is with Xbox to PC, they're both running a Windows-based platform. So all the drivers talk to each other. Everything on both platforms talks to each other. With bringing Nintendo in, whatever Nintendo has put in to their base system, whether they're using, you know, a version of Windows or I don't know, or whether it's just because it's Nintendo and they're made of money, then they can be a part of this as well. But Sony, being on the outside, everything on the Sony is proprietary. It's all their product. It's their version, their software. So it'd probably take quite a bit to actually talk.
Look, absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of arguments saying that, oh yeah, look, Sony won't come to the party. They're being arseholes about this, but it's not as easy as just flipping a switch. There is one portion of it that is just flipping a switch, but that's not the end. That's not where it finishes. The Nintendo Switch doesn't even have voice chat. So that's one less thing that they even need to worry about. But then again, they've also got to consider legal ramifications. When you sign up to a PlayStation account and an Xbox account, you're agreeing to a set bunch of rules. All of that needs to be amended if you're going to be changing the way things work online. Because that now goes beyond what you've agreed to in the terms and conditions. So that all needs to be fixed. They all need to work out how things are going to be handshaking in the background. Are you going to be able to party up with people on different consoles? Are you going to be able to talk to them? There's a lot involved. There is a few things that are simple, and it was shown with the mess up with Fortnite. But that's one aspect. Okay, if that's a Switch, then that's a Switch.
That uses an online account where you log into Fortnite server.
Yeah, that's right.
Therefore, that's where you are. So you're being put. So it's literally just your digital version going across. So that is as easy as flicking on. But yeah, 21.
But even though you can flick that switch on, there's still plenty more that needs to be considered. I would like it, but then there's also things about how to make the online experience fair. Because it's quite well known that players with a mouse and keyboard can be more accurate in shooters. Mm-hmm. Is that fair to pit them up against console players that are restricted to controllers? But then again, given the option, go in the settings, turn off PC players. Happy days.
Well, even with Fortnite on the PS4, there's a bit of outrage at the moment because the PS4 version has keyboard and mouse support. So it was like that very early on. I don't know now, but a lot of people were complaining because obviously keyboard and mouse is much more accurate.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It's one of those things. There's plenty for and against. I'd like to see it happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen this generation. It might be something that's looked into a little bit more for the next, with a little bit more time to prepare. Maybe.
Yeah, well, I did put the question out to Eric as to why he wanted it. Yeah. And what was his reasons? So he's come back with a lot of his friends play on different formats, and the cross-play with Xbox and PC works perfectly. Also with games that are not so popular, it would keep online servers full longer. And lastly, as gamers, we are one community and should be treated as one community. From a dev's point of view, it would also be a lot more profitable being able to have your game, especially the online side of a game, being available to millions more people at one time instead of splitting your community over different platforms.
They're good points. I think the biggest one there, one of the bigger benefits, not the only big benefit, but the fact that the player base will stay larger for longer. Yeah, because if for some reason it starts to dwindle on the PlayStation, but for some reason it's still going strong on Xbox, those on PlayStation can still get a decent game.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is a good thing. It's hard to tell where it's going to end up. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I'm not the one trying to work out how it will end up. We'll leave that to the people that have paid the big bucks. All right, let's move on. That's all we've got for user-created content this week. Thank you very much to all those people that we've mentioned. Adam, Liam, Julian, Bronx, Paul, Eric. I think that's everyone. Cheers for all.
Mitchell as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that just sort of carried on with what I asked. Aaron,
yeah, go ahead.
Please let PC play first-person consoles. And then you've got Alex's tagged in. I'm guessing a mate, Jonathan. So yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Cheers, guys. All right, let's move into What's That Sound? All right, so last week's What's That Sound? I don't think anyone had any idea what this one was. You didn't get it, did you? I don't think I remember you getting it or having a clue. No?
I don't generally have a clue.
Yeah, pretty much not. I'll play it now. See if it can jog your memory. Oh, that was not
It was
the
Paul
sound.
Clement's wife.
That's right. It was Paul Clement's wife. Oh, I didn't send him a prize.
Ex-wife.
We're going to give him a prize. All right, have a listen. Rem, do you know what that is?
No doubt a game I have not played.
I bet it is.
You reckon?
Well, we'll play last week, seeing as though you don't know. What if I give you the clue and saying, yeah, you probably should know what this one is?
Oh, jeez. Okay.
No, nothing.
No, it's not ringing bells for me.
Okay. Well, it's actually from Halo Combat Evolved. You've played Halo, right?
Oh, jeez, ages ago. Yeah, fair enough. That makes sense.
That was the elites going. Rawr, rawr.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, let's listen to this week's What's That Sound? Snoogs, you ready? What are we laughing at? What am I missing? Did my camera turn off?
I
was lying. I'm not wearing pants. No. What are you laughing at? What did I miss? Nothing?
Oh.
What?
I don't know.
We'll just play the sound then, I think.
Okay.
Oh, God. Oh. I don't know if it's any help because it's usually not. That was titled Spooky. I don't know what that is. What are you doing, Rep Premier? All right, hey, Rep, I want something from... What era? Let's go... The 2000s. Let's go 2000s. Nothing newer than 2009. What are you Googling?
Nothing. Can you play that first bit again?
Yeah.
Well, play the whole thing. It's only short.
What beat are you thinking of? The rock slide?
Yeah, is it like a rock slide or is it like burrowing?
I don't know. It sounds like a rock slide to me. I'll play it again here. It could be burrowing too, now that you say that.
Hmm.
It's like something burrowing underground and then jumping up.
And scaring the damsel in distress.
Yes, creating the damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Um,
What game has a burrowing thing and a screaming woman like that? I don't know. I've got nothing. No idea. Deb?
No idea.
Nothing. Nothing.
Got me stumped.
This is shit,
Yeah,
for
no.
me. Sort your shit out. I want something from The Last of Us next week. All right, if anybody listening at home or wherever you are think you know what that sound is, then send us a message to our Facebook page, and if you're correct, you'll get yourself a free game. And Paul Clement, remind me, I'll probably forget because it's not a message from you, but I owe you a game from your answer last week during the live show. So, there we go. That's What's That Sound. Let's move on to last words. Right, so the first thing I wanted to mention in last words, I mentioned at the start of the show, Metal Gear Survive. There's a release date of the 20th of February 2018, and you guys have seen the screenshots, yeah?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it fair for me to say that they look shit?
No. It doesn't. I don't think. I don't think it deserves the name.
Nah.
That's probably more what you're getting at than that the screenshots look shit.
Well, what I'm getting at is it does not look anything like the polish that Metal Gear Solid games, or the Metal Gear games, have got in the last couple of games. That to me looks horrid. The screen, looks like
a Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, the screenshots themselves are in 720. They weren't even 1080 screenshots. And there's one of them with the guy with the bow and arrow. If that's their way of doing depth of field, that looks shit. Yeah, find it if you want to. If you're playing along at home, jump on the Facebook page and have a look.
That's not how you make pottage.
The like the edges, it really looks low res. And
yeah, you think that's not that far away. Ew. Yeah. Okay. I see what you mean.
Yeah. The bow and arrow one. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's not how you do depth of field. And you look at the one where there's a guy sort of kneeling down behind a door, it's like hiding.
Mm.
What are those textures on the wall? Go to that one. The guy's kneeling down. He's got a light coming out of his pocket for some reason. Are you at that one yet?
I'm at it, but for whatever reason, Facebook's been running stupidly slow. Oh, okay. Yep. And the 1980s textures. Yeah.
What's that texture on the wall? It looks like something from a Nintendo 64 or an Xbox One.
It looks.
Depth of field.
And then
his hand.
His hand. He's got 19 fingers, I guess. All right, let's ignore that. Okay, so the textures are shit.
And his foot. Look at his foot.
Yeah. Like, why is he wearing one glove and one like long sleeve and the other one's got nothing, and it's like at the wrong angle? It's
because it's a fashion piece.
Yeah, that looks weird. And what about the mask is just glued to his head? There's no strap.
Yeah. It's just floating on his face.
Let's take our attention off the soldier guy, who I assume is the guy you're playing at. What about Afro Ninja in the background?
What has he got on his head?
What is that?
I put that one in another screenshot where he's like got the massive big sledgehammer and he's taking them down. There's one guy at the back of that who's got the same sort of thing. Yeah, it's like a big metal colander head. And the rest... None of these guys actually have heads. So he's just like smashed them off.
Missing. Yeah. Oh my god. Look, I'm poking fun. It might be good, but it doesn't look good from these screenshots. If I was in charge of PR, there is no way I would have released these shots. No way. Why is he fucking shooting goats?
I think there's a racial joke in there.
Yeah, we're not going to move past that. Just have we all played Metal Gear Solid 5?
What's with the glowing red head?
Yeah, right. I think that's where their head's been smashed off, and it's like out of the neck. It's glowing.
Yeah, they've got crystal stuff hanging out. They're obviously infected by something. But yeah, you guys have all played the most recent Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain?
Yep.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't?
I haven't.
You have it though?
I haven't. No, I don't have it.
It was free, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the PlayStation.
Oh, was that PlayStation?
That doesn't help me.
I thought it was a game. I thought it was a Games of Gold. Look, even if you just go watch a video on the Phantom Pain, this looks like a massive step back on graphic fidelity. I don't know if Konami have thought, well, nobody's going to buy it anyway because of all the bullshit with Hideo Kojima, so let's just punch out a title.
They're killing a legacy.
I know. Yeah, absolutely.
They're like not Hideo's legacy. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Snake's.
Yeah. Well, I don't think Snake is in this.
No. But they're calling it a Metal Gear game. Snake.
Yeah.
Any time you think of Metal Gear, you think of Snake, and yeah, this looks like Dead by Daylight. Like it's
Looks more like a Resident Evil.
but a B grade one.
Yeah.
Like for a game that's apparently this close to being released, like I would have expected these screenshots 12 months ago.
Oh, no, I wouldn't even... I can't expect at any stage for them to release screenshots that have a lower fidelity than the previous game. They've either got to be on par or better. You know, you may as well have released the wireframes without the textures, because some of the textures you can see in these pictures are woeful. And this is being released into a world that has the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One X, and high-end PCs. And you expect something like this from a Metal Gear series? Look, I'm not saying all games need to be 4K textures and looking pretty, but something in the Metal Gear world, like you said, that legacy is getting painfully injured by this. I don't know. Look, that's just my opinion. I don't know. There's quite a few people on this post. Well, not quite a few. I saw at least a couple saying that it looked fantastic. Where is it? Have they been deleted? I don't know. It was on there somewhere. Someone was saying that it looks fantastic.
You've got Nicholas Boyd. I understand the need for uniqueness. I can't grasp the idea behind a head that looks like a tin of overly cooked stovetop popcorn.
Yes, exactly.
I stared for a good 10 minutes trying to figure out what I was looking at. My first thought was that the character design team had an unhealthy love of aluminium foil.
Yeah, fair call. But look, yeah, here, Dennis Mulford says, it looks all good. Hope graphics are good too. Phantom Pain was my favourite Metal Gear Solid game. And then Caleb says, I've only played Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, about 3 months ago, but I 100% want this new one because it looks absolutely amazing. Are we looking at the same pictures?
The concept looks good, but the pictures don't do it justice, no.
Yeah, I think that's where that's coming from. It's the idea of this game looks amazing, but graphically it needs a bit of tweaking.
You're being generous.
Yes. Nice.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I wanted to mention. Any last words from you guys?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot.
So I've been hearing a lot lately about the upgrades and the changes that are coming to Destiny 2. So they're moving to a season system. We're currently in season 1, and at the end of each season, there are going to be like the rejigging of weapons and things like that are going to take place. But they're also making it more like, I don't know if you guys have played around the event series that they've had in Destiny 1, where they've had like the Festival of Light and things like that.
Yeah.
And the whole tower gets decked out for like Halloween or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So this one they're going to do a lot more of that sort of stuff. They're going to do a Christmas one where you can throw snowballs at each other within all parts of the world. We're going to have little vanity items that are going to come. But they've said that post-PC launch, which is obviously now, there's going to be one more Iron Banner and one more faction rally, and then they're removing them, and they haven't said when they're coming back. They're going to, at the start of every season, the clans get reset to 0, so that there's a level playing field for each season. The clans will get access to new banners, designs, things like that. In Season 2, they're going to add ornaments to Trials, Iron Banner, and Faction Rally gear. You're going to get the gear through the regular process of turning in tokens, which is a good thing. So it's going to be a lot easier to get your hands on some of that really cool gear. The ornaments, though, are going to work a bit differently. So to unlock an ornament, you'll have to complete a sort of challenge that's going to be tracked by the gear itself, which is not a bad idea.
Is this all good? Are you happy with all that?
Yeah, I think it sounds all good so far.
Because it's a bit neither here nor there for me, because I've pretty much done with Destiny. I'll probably go back to it every now and then if somebody wants to play or whatever, but I don't think I'll do it on my own bet.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So as each season comes around, they're going to change and shuffle the weapons archetypes. So between the kinetic and energy weapons, they're going to sort of switch some stuff around. The main one they mentioned was the Iron Banner handgun, which is currently kinetic, but will return in Season 2 as an energy weapon with different perks. So there's the opportunity to sort of see those things switch around, and that might work better for some people in their play styles, I think. The microtransaction-based bright engrams will also be refreshed between seasons, saying that they're changing most of the content contained in bright engrams. New emotes, new ships, new sparrows, and they're bringing out some round ghost shells instead of our normal diamond-shaped ones. So it'll be...
Oh.
Yeah, which is interesting. I've got some pictures of them, which I'll put up on the Facebook page later.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think they're a bit unique. Whether you like them or not will be interesting. You're also going to get some season-specific cosmetic items. So if you get a cool ship in Season 2, you won't be able to get the same one in Season 3. If you own it, you've got it, but you can't get it in Season 3. So it's like limited time.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I like that. Rewards people for being there. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's same with the emotes, gear ornaments, Eververse armor sets, and the only thing that doesn't change is shaders. They'll add to the collection, but they won't change them and take them away.
Nice.
They also talked about Clarion Calls, which is a limited time global event that gives XP bonuses if you meet certain criteria. So one example that they gave of that was a 2 times XP bonus buff to anyone doing an event in a fire team with a clan member. They said that there will be other Clarion Calls and they won't necessarily require a clan, but that's just one example. They're also bringing out a new Crucible map in Season 2, and it will work similarly to maps from Trials of the Nine, Iron Banner, and Leviathan Raid. Something will trigger the map to unlock, after which it will be available to everyone. There wasn't any talk of ranked mode, gun mods, private matches, or any specific balance tweaks, but yeah, I think they're going to be doing the substantial tweaks at the end of each season and some small ones if absolutely needed in between. So yeah, there's a lot of positive stuff coming for the next few seasons of Destiny 2.
Awesome, thanks for that. It's good news. I just never heard any of that stuff around the traps.
Very cool.
Yeah, there'll be a few Bungie streams for anyone who likes to watch Bungie streams. They'll have, I think they're planning 2 or 3 before the end of the year, and they'll go into more detail about all this sort of stuff. There'll be Deej, as usual, and a couple of the other guys. So yeah, something to keep your eyes on.
Cool. What about you, Snoogs? What do you got? Anything?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No. Nothing left for last words, unfortunately. Just make sure everyone gets around and checks out what's going up on YouTube at the
Well, you're cutting out. Oh, well, yes. I'll reiterate that. Check out our YouTube channel. We've got reviews coming up there. We've got Evil Within 2. We've got GT Sport coming, and we've got Fractured Butthole and more. Wolfenstein...
The New Colossus.
New Colossus, that's what it is. That's coming soon as well. Yes, that does look good. That is coming. So keep an eye out for it. Go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow all of us on Twitter. Links will be in the description for the podcast. And do whatever you can to support us. Be our best supporter, and we will love you to the end and back. You'll get shout-outs.
Long time.
Love you long time.
Love you long time.
Long time.
Well, thanks, Pat, and thank you also, Rem, for coming and joining us.
Not a problem.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I wanted to sing you a song, Rem. I wanted to sing... It's the end of the world as we know it. That was R.E.M., wasn't it?
Right. I was a little lost there.
I think that's who sings that song.
Yeah.
What's a frequency, Kenneth?
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you come up with that joke or the fact that I got it.
Yes! Loser. Thanks for joining the show. Thanks again, Snoogs. Thank you to everybody who's listened. And as always, I am Lucas.
I'm Remutha.
And I am Snoogs.
Yeah, that worked relatively painless. Catch you all next week.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, here we are once again at the end of this week's show. If you're still hungry for more video game content, head over to the Aussie Gamers Express Facebook page and give us a like. We also have a heavy presence over on Twitter, so give at AussieGamers12 a follow, and also our YouTube channel is there waiting for you to give it the love that it deserves. This podcast is available for your convenience through iTunes, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you all on the next episode of the Aussie Gamers Express Video Game Podcast.